Top stories this evening, sponsored by Courts, bringing value home. 7 Guyanese deported from the United States. They arrived at the CJIA on a chartered aircraft. Several school children test positive for COVID-19. GTU calls for random testing of students. 2 cops among 4 in custody over the killing of a FOULIS man. Family picket police station in search of answers. And Attorney General says he offers legal opinions, not legal advice on GECOM matters. HGP Nightly News begins now. Good evening to our viewers here in Guyana and online. I'm Travis Chase with the Wednesday, June 11 edition of the HGP Nightly News. Here's what you need to know this evening. The police quietly processed 7 persons who were sent back from the United States on Tuesday afternoon. You'll have more details in this report. A chartered aircraft carrying 7 Guyanese who were deported from the United States of America landed at the Chedijagan International Airport just before 3 p.m. Tuesday. The aircraft made one stop in Santo Domingo, the capital of the Dominican Republic, and deplaned 23 persons. Sources have indicated that local police immediately took the 6 males and a female into custody and escorted them to Georgetown. They were expected to be processed at the Criminal Investigations Department and released. The issue of mass deportation from the United States was first raised on January 23, 2025, during a press conference hosted by General Secretary of the People's Progressive Party Civic and Guyane's Vice President Barrett Jagdeo.
If they're Guyanese, then they don't have a choice but to take them back. What are we going to do? Refuse to take our people back?
Well, that had happened about 2 decades ago.
But we would have to take our people back.
This is the first group of Guyanese citizens to be sent back from the United States after President Donald Trump started a crackdown on illegal immigrants.
On day 1, I will seal the border and will begin the largest domestic deportation operation in the history of our country. And if other countries say they won't take them back, we're not going to take them back. I will say that, here they come. You're just going to hold on to your britches, because here they come. They're coming back.
The identities of those deported were not made known, and the reason for their deportation has also not been revealed. Travis Chase, HGP Nightly News. A dispute has emerged over the role of the Attorney General in the affairs of the Guyana Elections Commission. This follows concerns raised by the Alliance for Change leader Nigel Hughes in the absence of a substantive legal advisor. The Attorney General has since responded. Find out more from Tiana Cole.
Days after Alliance for Change AFC leader Nigel Hughes wrote to the Guyana Elections Commission GECOM, calling for the appointment of an independent legal advisor and warning against the involvement of the sitting Attorney General. AG Anin Nandlad addressed the matter on Tuesday during his program Issues in the News. He stated clearly that he is not GECOM's legal advisor.
Permit me to clarify for the public that the Attorney General is not the legal advisor of GECOM. Neither has the Attorney General ever held himself out to be.
Nandlal emphasized that while he is the most senior legal officer of the state and a legal representative of the government, this role does not equate to being the official legal advisor to GECOM. He explained that various state agencies, including independent bodies, have often sought legal opinions from the Attorney General's chambers, but that such requests do not imply a formal advisory relationship.
The Attorney General is not the legal advisor of GECOM, but offered his opinion as was requested, and has offered his legal opinion to many independent constitutional agencies and statutory agencies.
The Attorney General for the stated that during AP and UAFC administration between 2015 and 2020, it was not uncommon for GECOM commissioners to seek legal opinions from the Attorney General's chambers. He challenged current commissioners to deny that such engagements took place. Last Friday, Hughes wrote to GECOM Chair Claudette Singh urging the immediate appointment of an independent legal advisor. He raised concern that since the dismissal of GECOM's former legal counsel, the Commission has not appointed a replacement with sufficient independence. He cautioned that seeking legal advice from the current Attorney General could undermine GECOM's impartiality.
We therefore urge the Commission to immediately reconsider this development and appoint a legal advisor whose independence is beyond question. That individual must be professionally qualified, non-partisan, and committed to upholding the principles of fairness and transparency upon which democratic processes depend.
Tianako reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
There are reports of several students falling ill and later testing positive for COVID-19. The Guyana Teachers Union is upset at the Ministry of Education's silence on the issue and have called for random testing for those who may have been exposed. Here's more. Several schools around Georgetown have begun to fumigate after several students have tested positive for COVID-19. Nightly News was reliably informed that over at the West Rhymeville Primary School, 3 children from a grade 5 classroom have tested positive for COVID-19. Sources tell us that the Education Department had long been informed of the cases and have not acted upon requests for fumigation to be conducted until Wednesday morning, after Nightly News reported on the positive cases. Sources have accused the Education Ministry of taking a laid-back approach to the issue, even though other children continue to fall ill. Quote, "This lack of transparency puts the health and safety of both students and their families at serious risk. We believe that parents have a right to know when their children may have been exposed to a contagious virus, especially one with potentially severe consequences," a source indicated. Over at the Winford Gardens Primary School, at least 2 students have tested positive for COVID-19. They are from grades 1 and 4. Nightly News understands that the grade 1 student has been admitted to the COVID-19 intensive care unit at the Infectious Disease Hospital at Lillian-Dahl. A message sent to teachers of the Winford Gardens Primary School on Wednesday morning reads, "Good morning, teachers. Please inform your parents through your groups that school will be dismissed at 2 p.m. today to facilitate fumigation and sanitization. Workers will be on location at 3 p.m. to facilitate fumigation." Unquote. Incoming president of the Guyana Teachers Union, Coretta MacDonald, told Nightly News via telephone on Wednesday that she's appalled by the silence of the Ministry of Education on such serious health issue.
It is alarming to know that these cases would have been reported to the departments of education in the regions, and they have done absolutely nothing to safeguard the health and lives of teachers and the learners within those regions. What is most alarming is the fact that the Minister of Health was on national television just recently, reassuring this nation that we have nothing to worry about because this strain has not reached our shores.
MacDonald said she has advised the nation's teachers to immediately put in place the necessary safety measures in their classrooms and schools, maintaining that teachers should not gamble with their health.
Don't wait on the Minister of Education. Don't wait on the Departments of Education. Don't even wait on the Ministry of Health to tell you what to do. In the schools where the several cases would have been reported, we ask that those schools be closed and that fumigation be allowed to take place. We ask that systems be put in place for random testing of our learners. We cannot afford to be gambling with the health of our people.
Several other schools, including the East Rhymeville Secondary School, have reached out to Nightly News to confirm that several students there have tested positive for COVID-19 and have accused the Ministry of Education of attempting to keep the issue under wraps. Travis Chase, HGP Nightly News. The Ministry of Education, in a statement late Wednesday afternoon, denied that there is a COVID-19 issue at the West Ruimveldt Primary School. But HGP Nightly News, we will be sticking by our story because we have confirmed that there are several cases, positive cases of COVID-19 at several city schools. Stay with us. There is more news ahead.
Welcome to SNL Electrical Inc., where lighting and electrical needs are met with expertise and style. From the latest in electrical lamps to durable cables, circuit breakers, panels, we have it all. Illuminate your space with our elegant chandeliers, stunning crystal lights, and versatile pole lights. Looking to upgrade your comfort? Explore top-of-the-line AC units and our diverse selections of stylish styles. Visit us at 170-180 Thomas Street, Kitty, Georgetown. Discover a solution that not only lights up your world but transforms it. Call us on telephone number 226-3018 or 223-1634. SNL Electrical Inc. powering your life with elegance, quality, and care.
With 70% ethyl alcohol, Mighty Foam Hand Sanitizer eliminates 99.99% of all germs and even moisturizes in the process, leaving your skin clean and hydrated. Mighty Foam Hand Sanitizer. How do you stay clean?
Krishna Roth Establishment. No job is too small or too large. We specialize in all types of fabricating, machinery, excavator repairs, rice field pumps, and hydraulic hoses. Visit us at Lot 113, Block CC Monrepo, East Coast, Demerara, or call 220-9624, 616-9416, or 619-7880. At Krishna Roth Establishment, no job is too small or too large.
Crispy, creamy, what a catch, so tasty. What a catch, with a caramel center. What a catch, and so much chocolate, ooh yeah. First it's crispy, then it's creamy, with so much chocolate, smooth and milky. And when you go a little deeper, you find caramel, ooh yeah. Oh, what a catch, you know we love you. What a catch, oh. First it's crispy, then it's creamy, what a catch.
GECOM will be conducting a claims and objections exercise commencing June 16, 2025 to produce an official list of electors for the conduct of general and regional elections on September 1, 2025. GECOM will post the preliminary list of electors in all registration divisions for you to check if you are listed and if your particulars are accurate. If you will be 18 years or older by June 30, 2025, and you are a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, or naturalization, or a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more, you are eligible for inclusion in the OLE. If you are eligible for inclusion, you are required to apply for registration if your name is not on the PLE. Apply for a transfer if you have changed your address since you were registered. Apply for a name change if you have changed your name. Apply for a correction if your particulars are incorrect. Any person applying for a change or correction must provide the relevant original source document, birth certificate and deed poll for a name change by deed poll, marriage certificate and ID card for a name change by marriage, divorce absolute in the case of a woman who is desirous of reverting to her maiden name from her married name, birth certificate, adoption certificate, naturalization certificate for correction of minor clerical errors. Visit the GECOM registration office responsible for your area of residence to conduct any of these transactions. The claims aspect of this exercise will end on Wednesday, June 18, 2025. For more information, information, contact GECOM on 225-02779 or visit www.gecom.org.gy.
HGP Nightly News, thanks for staying with us. Antonio Day informs us now that based on statements from ExxonMobil's vice president, the government is best positioned to clarify the status of the oil company's tax certificate. This comes in response to inquiries regarding the evidence of taxes that are paid by the state.
John Cullen, vice president of ExxonMobil Guyana Limited, revealed that income taxes total $260.1 billion last year, up from $138.1 billion in 2023. Cullen was asked about ExxonMobil's certificate confirming the company's taxes payable to the state and which are covered by the Guyana government, and he responded accordingly.
I would say that's really a question for the government. So no update with respect to the certificate.
Cullen clarified that according to the production sharing agreement, the company's taxes are paid on behalf of the state. The business service manager noted that much of the revenue from increased oil production is being allocated to cost recovery, raising questions about the status of risk insurance.
I would expect a higher insurance cost in general as you increase activity, as you increase your asset base.
Cullen was also asked about potential insurance premiums following the recent incursion of Venezuelan naval vessels into Guyana's economic zone.
Prefer not to speculate.
Concerns were raised about Exxon's insurance coverage for potential oil spills, but the company's vice president assured that they are always prepared. I'm Antonio Day reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
2 police ranks are among 4 persons in custody over the killing of FOULIS construction worker. The family is still awaiting word from the police. More details in this report. It has been more than 24 hours since police promised a comprehensive investigation into the killing of 29-year-old Wandell Clark. Clark was shot dead on Sunday night at 2nd Street Fouls. The police claim that Clark was shot by a private security officer, while the family alleges that based on their own investigation, the police could be the culprit. In search for an update from the police, Clark's relative picketed the Cove and John police station Tuesday afternoon. His mother says all she needs is the truth.
And I would like to know the truth. Who killed my son? That is what I got to say. Who killed my son? And we need justice for Wandell Clark. And this nonsense in our country must stop. They have to stop killing the youths.
According to the police, a 25-year-old male security officer employed with Force Security Service is the suspect. He was arrested and remains in custody. The police statement said that the security officer's firearm was also confiscated. His tearful fiancée is calling on the police to bring the perpetrators to justice swiftly.
I am just saying that we need justice. We need something to be done. Whoever involved in this thing something needs to be done. Because it's not easy losing a loved one. Nobody knows the amount of sleepless night this family is grieving at having. My children can't sleep at night because of the death of Wandell.
The family's speculation worsened after they obtained video footage which showed a police vehicle chasing Clark from the railway embankment through the Fouls main access road as he rode his motorcycle. They are questioning how did the private security officer open fire at Clark in the presence of the police. Clark's brother is not too happy with the police's version of what transpired.
We asked for footage from the Chinese supermarket now. There was the footage of the same white van, the same set of police chasing him. And them said, no, there wasn't chasing him. Them now going to the scene and they already commotion and now going to the scene for find out what's going on. So this is real foul play going on here. Real foul play.
Nightly News understands that 4 persons, including 2 police ranks, are in custody as the investigation continues. Travis Chase, HGP Nightly News. You're watching the HGP Nightly News. There is more news ahead. Stay with us.
Planning a cleanup? We can help. Sevon's Waste Management skip bins can be provided for home renovation projects, yard cleanup, or construction project. It's simple. Step 1, give us a call. Step 2, we put down the bin. Step 3, load it up with all of your junk. Step 4, we take it away. That's simple. Bins are also available in various sizes, so there is no job that is too big or too small. Call Cvance Waste Management today at 218-1455.
Hey, I would like to purchase all these auto parts here. This is for my Pitbull bus. This here is my bus as well, and this is here for my excavator. Only 71,600?
Yes, only at Gen N Accessories. We offer high-quality, affordable heavy-duty machinery spare parts for various machines at unbeatable prices. We also crimp hydraulic hoses.
So guys, if you're looking for your auto parts, whether it's for your heavy-duty machinery or let's say your Pitbull bus, please check out Gen N Accessories at Lot 1 Public Road, Priceless, East Coast, Demerara.
GECOM will be conducting a claims and objections exercise commencing June 16, 2025 to produce an official list of electors for the conduct of general and regional elections on September 1, 2025. If you will be 18 years or older by June 30, 2025 and you're a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent or naturalization or a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more, you are eligible for inclusion in the OLE. GECOM will post the preliminary list of electors PLE in all of the registration divisions for you to check if you are listed and if so, whether your particulars are accurate. If you have changed your address since you were registered, you need to visit the GECOM registration office responsible for your new area of residence to apply for a transfer. If you do not apply for a transfer, you will have to go to the polling station where you will be listed to vote based on your previous residence. Wednesday, June 18, 2025 is the last day you can apply for a transfer during this exercise. For more information, contact GECOM on 225-027729 or visit www.gecom.org.gy.
The HGP Nightly News, we tell you now that as Guyana prepares for general and regional elections, the government has signaled its intent to welcome a host of international observers. This move underscores a broader effort to ensure transparency and bolster public confidence in the electoral process, particularly in light of the country's complex electoral history. Find out more from Tiana Cole.
With Guyanese scheduled to head to the polls on September 1 for general and regional elections, the government is preparing to open its doors to a wide range of international election observers. The aim is to reaffirm its commitment to transparency and accountability in the democratic process. This announcement was made on Tuesday by Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs Anand Lal during his weekly program Issues in the News. The AG revealed that the Carter Center, funded by the late U.S. President Jimmy Carter, has already confirmed it will dispatch a team to observe the upcoming elections.
Many more international observer teams will be invited and will be welcomed to observe the elections because we have nothing to hide. We want transparency.
Nandlal further emphasized that the People's Progressive Party Civic PPPC fought for nearly 3 decades to ensure the presence of international observers at elections in Guyana.
Because for 28 years the PNC rigged the elections and they did not want observers to be present, and they blocked observers out.
His comments come at a time when the credibility of elections remain a focal point in Guyana's political discourse. Since 1992, Guyana has allowed international observers to monitor general elections, a tradition that was interrupted only during the controversial 2020 cycle. He described them as vital to safeguarding the integrity of elections, particularly given Guyana's troubled electoral past.
And we know who the electoral miscreants are, and we know what their capabilities, tendencies, and proclivities are. So the more the observer teams, the safer the electoral process.
Tianco reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
The level of youth participation in national and policy-making processes depends on the maturity of our political leaders. This is according to youth advocate Cleon Halley, who is adamant that the youths must no longer be sidelined by the older generation. Antonio Day will tell you more.
It depends on the maturity of our leaders, and that will determine the level at which young people can play an involvement in national development.
That was Cleon Halley, a well-known youth advocate during a recent interview with Nightly News.
Even if you're on a side, that is limited, because if you, in any way, shape, or form, present yourself in a way that those above you feel threatened, you will be parked as well.
He acknowledged locally that there are many intuitive young people who are not privy to the political landscape and are passion-driven for change. On the other hand, Halley noted that there are young people who are critical and analytical, but are only utilized unless they are identified by certain political persuasions.
Young people have a great level of energy, creativity, innovation that comes with being a young person in this era.
The youth advocate made it clear that the nation's future leaders are valuable to the policy-making process.
At every aspect of national development, young people have a role to play in that process.
Mr. Halley said the habit of sidelining young people must immediately end.
I don't think anybody can. It really is dependent on who is leading us and their value for the youth voice, for the youth mind, and the youth creativity.
I'm Antonio Day reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Your regional news is up next.
GECOM will be conducting a claims and objections exercise commencing June 16, 2025 to produce an official list of electors for the conduct of general and regional elections on September 1, 2025. If you will be 18 years or older by June 30, 2025, and you're a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, or naturalization, or a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more, you are eligible for inclusion in the OLE. GECOM will post the preliminary list of electors in all registration divisions for you to check if you are listed and if your particulars are accurate. You can object to any one you believe does not qualify for inclusion in the OLE. To do so, you must be listed on the same divisional list as the person you are objecting to. You must visit the GECOM registration office responsible for your area of residence to make an objection. The objections aspect of this exercise will end on Friday, June 20, 2025. For more information, contact the GECOM on 225-0277-9 or visit www.gecom.org.gy.
Turbo with a new look, new style, with the same great taste in the 250 ml can. Everybody run out now. Go and go grab one. Me charge up with a turbo 250 ml at your favorite spot. Wait, sell. New look, new can, same vibes. Jinxing, energize up your life. Vibes up, work time, anytime we are turn up the party with turbo can. Turbo can, turbo can, turbo can. Now available in the new 250 ml can. Turbo energy drink. Charge up today.
This Father's Day, Digicel is showing love to the real MVPs, all the father figures who hold it down every day. And we're not talking socks and ties. We're talking an 85-inch TV to watch his favorite sports and a barbecue grill fit for the king of the backyard. 4 lucky winners will take home this epic combo. Just top up $1,000 or more and boom, you're entered into the draw. Give Dad the gift of entertainment. Top up now, grill and chill with Digicel this Father's Day.
Perfect location for put up a food stand. Put up food stand here? Yes, Officer Bring. No, Granny, you can't put up no food stand here. Why not? Because the gas to energy pipeline. Gas to energy? Why is that? They can bring gas from offshore to region 3. That can turn it to electricity and other things. So what about if Granny put it up over there? No, Granny, listen. This whole area here, from here to the West Bank, is considered the right of way. So nobody can build, plant, dig, or burn nothing here. But what if I am? No buts, Granny. Listen, you could get yourself or others hurt. Watch, you see this number here? You call it if you see anybody doing anything out of the way or doing anything they're supposed to be doing, like building, digging, or burning stuff on the right of way. All right, grandson, I hear you.
GECOM will be conducting a claims and objections exercise commencing June 16, 2025 to produce an official list of electors for the conduct of general and regional elections on September 1, 2025. If you will be 18 years or older by June 30, 2025 and you're a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, or naturalization, or a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more, you are eligible for inclusion in the OLE. GECOM will post the preliminary list of electors PLE in all of the registration divisions across Guyana for you to check if you are listed and if so, whether your particulars are accurate. You can make a claim for registration, change, correction to your particulars, or you can object to the inclusion of anyone who you believe should not be on the list. If you are desirous of making a claim or objection, you must visit the GECOM registration office responsible for your area of residence to do so. Visit the GECOM registration office responsible for your area of residence to conduct any of these transactions. All GECOM registration offices will be open Monday, June 16 to Friday, June 20, 2025 from 8 to 18 hours. For more information, contact the GECOM on 225-0277-9 or visit www.gecom.org.gy.
Evening and welcome to Wednesday's edition of the Regional News. A cargo vessel grounded off Manus Island is said to be leaking hydrocarbons into the waters of the Chaguaramas basins, raising fears of environmental damage and threat to livelihoods. The vessel carrying a load of bricks reportedly ran aground early Tuesday morning after its cargo shifted, destabilizing the ship. Environmental group Fishermen and Friends of the Sea, FFOS, has issued an urgent call for state agencies to activate a national oil spill contingency plan. They warned that hydrocarbons are leaking from the ship's bottom into surrounding waters. FFOS said there were no breaches in the hull and salvage efforts are underway to refloat the ship. However, they stated that marine ecosystems and fishing communities in the Gulf of Paria remain at risk. A U.S. appeals court on Tuesday temporarily paused a judge's ruling holding that hundreds of Venezuelans the Trump administration deported to El Salvador under the 18th century wartime law must be given the chance to challenge their detentions. A 3-judge panel of the U.S. Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia Circuit issued an administrative stay to give itself more time to consider an appeal filed by the government early on Tuesday. Washington-based U.S. District Judge James Boasberg on June 4 also ruled that the Trump administration must facilitate the legal challenges, ordering the government to bring the Venezuelan migrants currently being held at a mega prison in El Salvador back to the U.S. The Venezuelans were deported in March after President Donald Trump, a Republican, invoked the 1798 Alien Enemies Act. Former Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro denied that he led an attempt to overthrow the government after losing the 2022 election during his trial before the country's Supreme Court yesterday, but acknowledged taking part in meetings aimed at reversing the outcome. Bolsonaro said he and senior aides discussed alternatives to accepting the electoral results, including the possibility of deploying military forces and suspending some civil liberties. But he said those proposals were soon dropped. In March, the Supreme Court agreed to hear the case against Bolsonaro and 7 other people, including several military officers, who were charged with plotting a coup to stop Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva from taking office in January 2023. The charges stem from a 2-year police investigation into the election, denying movement that culminated in riots by Bolsonaro supporters in the capital in early 2023, a week after Lula took office. Bolsonaro, who was the 6th defendant to testify in the case, spent several minutes of his 2 hours of testimony defending its administration's achievements and its criticism of the country's electoral system. Thank you for watching. I am Tiana Cole.
Seven Guyanese deported from the United States. They arrived at the CJIA on a chartered aircraft. Several school children test positive for COVID-19. GTU calls for random testing of students. 2 cops among 4 in custody over the killing of a FOULIS man. Family picket police station in search of answers. And Attorney General says he offered legal opinions, not legal advice on GECOM matters. Those are our major headlines. For these stories and more, please go to our website. It's www.hgptv.com. I'm Travis Chase. Thanks for watching.